Hi there, this is Cliff Rohde of GoatCloud Communications. You can find us at goatcloud.com. We're here today to talk about a very important part of optimizing images for your WordPress website. Specifically, we're talking about alternative text tags, also called alt tags, sometimes called alt text. In any event, this is a way to imbue your images with relevant words so that search engines and visitors alike can better understand what content is on your website. So without further ado, I'm going to take away the image of me and we are going to move right into how to do this. Hold on for 1 sec. Okay, I'm gone, but the website is still there. Fantastic. So what we want to do first is bring up let's say we're going to be drafting a new post about the marvels of bee pollination. And so what we're going to do is we're in our dashboard, we're going to create a new post, and we're going to say add new. And so we're going to call this bees pollinating, how about bees and the miracle of pollination. Anyway, you get the gist that that's what we're going to be talking about. And so I have an image. It makes sense, right? We always want to have images associated with our WordPress or with our website content, even if it's written word content. And so we're going to pick we're going to add some media here. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and add media. The file is not there that I want, so I'm going to go ahead and upload it. I'm going to select a file, and there it is. I want this bee-daisy.jpg file. So by the way, I want to say that that file name is a good file name. It's nice and short. It describes what this image is about, and the words are separated by hyphens. That's the kind of thing that you want to do for file names for images on your website. But now we come down to this area right here of alternative text. So what we want here is or are words that describe what this image is about. Now in this case it makes a lot of sense, of course, to have an image of a bee on a flower if we're putting together a blog post about bees and pollination. Even if it's the case, I believe that if you are using an image, say for its captivation purposes, rather than it really speaks exactly to what you're talking about or writing about on your blog post, you should still use words that really accurately describe what that image is about. Because again, that is what search engines will look at to understand what the image is about. They're still not completely able to identify images just by what they look at and identify and understand what they are. So we put these words in. But also importantly, a lot of time visitors to your website may not have images displaying, or it could be visually impaired people who are visiting your website, and this is a cue to them as well to tell them what the content is that's on your website. So make sure that in a concise way, no typos, no misspellings, that sort of thing, describe the image in the alt text. So I've got some content that I came up with. I have bee extracting nectar from a daisy, lots of pollen. So we can imagine, right, if we're writing a blog post about this topic, well, those are a lot of great keywords. And so those also might help search engines to identify this page as a valuable page for people who are looking for information on that topic. And at the same time, you know, there are image searching functions in Google and elsewhere as well. And so if somebody is actually searching for the picture of a bee on a flower, and by the way, I've licensed to use this from Adobe Stock, but they will find this image maybe and then find your website, right? And that's what we want, is people to find our website. So now, we can see here, and this is a crucial thing to remember, that because we are just first uploading this image now, and we're doing it through uploading the file. This is we're editing. Remember, we're editing the post, and we chose our file to upload. It put this information in. It gives us this called attachment details. Now, this is telling us that this is the information that is going to be found, this top information, in the media library. And so when we go ahead and add this alternative text in here and we insert this into the post, and certainly once we've saved a draft of this post, then this image will be in the media library, and within the media library it will have this alt text. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to hit Save Draft, and what I want to do now is I actually want to come to the media library here. Let's take a look at the media library and let's see if that image is there. Okay, the image is there. Well, let's take a look at the alternate text. We'll click on it and we can see that indeed the with the attachment details here are this alternate text that we put in here is here. However, now let's go take a look at the post itself. Gosh, I could swear we said edit post. You know what? That's the wrong post, so we're going to leave that one. Here we go. Here's the post we were looking at. So I added this post in, Bees and the Miracle of Pollination. We saved the draft. Here's the image. Now, we have set a default alternative text in the media library by virtue of the way that we brought this post into the web, or this image into the website. Nevertheless, we can change the way the alternative text appears solely on this post. We do that by coming to the image, clicking on the edit button. We're going to edit, and we're going to edit this alternative text. Let's say we decide, no, we're not talking about pollen at all. Forget about pollen. So we're changing the alternative text to get rid of that pollen information. We click on update. Now notice, this is now saying image details, not attachment details. We're going to hit update. We're going to hit save draft. And just to prove to you that this is actually the way it is, we're going to go ahead and click on the image again within the post. We're going to click on edit, and you can see here that the image details, the alternative text is gone. Now, you might be asking, okay, it changed there. Did it change in the media library? And I'm going to show you that it has not. So we've come back to the media library. Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to hit refresh in the media library. The image is still here, but if we click on it, look what the default alternative text is. It's still there with pollen. So if we were to use the media library image again in a new post, and why don't we go ahead and do that, the default alternative text would show up. So we're going to come back up to post. We're going to say add new. So here's a brand new post. Pollen, I love it. We're going to go ahead and add media. We're going to add from a file that's already in the media library, this B one. We can click here, and this is what's coming up, and we're going to see that the pollen information is there. Now again, we're under attachment details. If we were to change this here while adding it into this post, then it would change it in the media library. If we leave this alone, it's going to leave it alone in the media library. We're going to go ahead and insert that into the post. And again, if we look at it and we edit it, it's going to have the pollen information. But again, on this pollen I love it post, if we were to change the alternative text in the image details on this post, let's just call it lots of pollen. Oops, I have an extra space. We'll get rid of that. Update. Although that would not be a good alternative text tag to have. We hit save draft here. If we come back to the media library, again, even though we just changed it in that post, that new post, the default alternative text is not going to change in the media library itself. Again, these are the attachment details, which is showing what it shows, what's in the media library. Now, what about an image, say this one, logo, that doesn't have any alternative text and that's already in the media library? Well, the same goes, basically. If the default is that there is no alternative text and you add it into an image, then there's not going to be any alternative text in there unless you add it to that image. And again, whether you add it in the attachment details or the image details within an individual post will determine whether you're changing the default alternative text. So why don't we sum this up? Again, it's really important to have alternative text for every single image that you have on your website. If they need to be changed on a page-by-page basis, that is possible. However, when you add an image to the media library, you have an opportunity to change the alternative text, the default alternative text tag. You should always make sure that you have some alternative text there. That default, the one that's there in the media library, will be used by default if you add that image to a post or page from the media library in the future. However, you can change the alternative text tag on any individual post or page without changing the default in the media library. So anyway, I hope you found that helpful. Again, this is Cliff Rohde of GoatCloud Communications LLC. You can find us online at goatcloud.com, and we're happy to answer any questions you may have. Take care. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.